Alrighty. I'm rejuvenated. I have slept. I have coffee. I have banana. Let's murder this murder investigation game. The Final Clash. Finally, it's the Peel game, which has been foreshadowed throughout the experience. It has been funny playing this back-to-back with Threefold recital, because they're two mystery games, and they both have their own mixed and particular approaches to trying to having callbacks and a dense story full of things that'll interconnect and everything, and callbacks. It is funny that, like, oh yeah, they didn't just randomly invent a funny sport out of nowhere and then just have that be a background detail. It's like, of course it's foreshadowing to the game that's going to happen at some point. Also, apologies if Peel is a real game. I've just never heard of it. I don't know if it's an alternate name for an existing sport, but given the setting, I figure they made it up. Okay, so we have December 16th. I think the only interactive spot is the house. But that's a loading time right there. December 16th still? Okay, so the previous one was at 1:15. This is 2:30. So 45 minutes later, no. An hour and 15 minutes later. Right? No. I'm thinking about this wrong. I said 1:15, didn't I? It's 1:45. 1:45 and 2:30, so it's 45 minutes later, yeah. Okay. I think I did the math right the first time, but misspoke what the first time was the first time, and then, like, did the math based on the thought instead of... did the thought math based on what I said instead of what I actually correctly surmised as being the time. Looks like the stadium's all the way over there, so that's where the game is actually going to take place, which is probably why the camera's framed like this. But over here is the house where all the experiments have been happening. 45 minutes later, a van pulls out, and the plot happens there. And then, at 3 o'clock sharp, half an hour later, something happens at the news agency. So the game's happening over here, but they're going to use the broadcast on OPTV to cause some specific memory to do some crazy shit. And we're going to do this chapter without knowing any words, but there's 84 spots. I don't know what the fuck that means. We'll see how that plays out. So welcome back to this place. Oh. So, Mary and security have found something, a weird fabric. It must have been someone connected to those blasted hippies. They strike again. Security Captain B. Greer. He's got one of those... Ah, he found... That's the strip he found. The strip has a thing. Take memories, give heat? Which they think means... give empathy? Take, because their give and take was backwards. So I think that means give empathy to... Well, no, their numbers are updated because they've been... Well, the hippies are... Tess has been working with us, and the hippies are separate. I don't know if the hippies have an updated definition of these words, or they're still using the things where they're translated backwards, or if it's Tessa's new understanding, because the bracelets have been correct, and Tessa has been working with us, and Tessa was with the hippies. It's her fault that they are around. Alright, the hippies struck again, but what did they do? Key, gun, weird looking gun. See? I wasn't imagining it. Someone's sneaking around. Anyway, we should return. It's time to start the transfer to the TV station. Happy customer project checklist. 1 minute lens installed. Mr. Marmot has filled idol with the material. Idol's interior and control panels locked. So nobody can change what they're controlled to be, basically. Signed by E. Marmot, W. M. Westlake, and J. Nowak. At 2 p.m., Idol, Red Crystal handed over to 2 guards to transfer the TV stations. What's supposed to happen? Greer and Westlake. That's where this got interrupted, so they stole it, seemingly. At the TV station at 3 p.m. latest, Idol, Red Crystal, control and interior panels locked. Handed over to Jack and Eugene at TV station. E. Marmot, J. Nowak. Go live for commercial break during the Peel finals at 5 p.m. So they're trying to do a broadcast that will affect people, which is upsetting in every level, because it means, like, people aren't consenting to having something beamed into their brains in that way. And yeah, this is all at the original place. So right around here, this guy's murdered and buried in the rock garden, as we know. Lens. Yeah, that's the 1 minute lens, right? The donut. Idle user guide. This is the same one we've seen before, but it's a reference material if I want to go back through it. There's vomit in the sink. Great. Yeah, blue is empty, red is full. Upgraded security protocol. Since the attack of the empathy cult, which followed the dismissal of our consultant, we must take every precaution to ensure the idol's safety. An OPIG certified guard should always be present with the idol. Keys to the lab are granted only to me, Mary, Tim, and the shift guard. The idol's control panel and interior are now protected by a PIN code available only to me, Mary, and Jack. Eugene. OPIG certified guard is always present with the idol. Only... This is Eugene. Who's Tim? I don't remember Tim. Oh, Tim Spender. So they give a key to Mary and Eugene and Tim, but not Jack. Weird. The idol's control panel and interior are now protected with the PIN code available only to me, Mary, and Jack. So me, Mary, and Jack have the PIN code, but the key is only with Mary, Tim, and the shift guard, and me, but no Jack. For some reason, he gets the PIN, but not the code, the key. I wonder if the hierarchy changed again. Mary claims to be in control of things, but she's probably doing that subtly. Whereas, God, 84 spots is a lot. Jack's supposed to be the lab guy, and Mary's supposed to be his assistant because of the demotion. But they might have changed again. The door is locked. Why is there vomit in the sink? And they didn't clean it up, which is really gross. Ah. Oh my, that was disgusting. What did you do? A bottle of soda that reeks of rotten eggs. So is there vomit in the sink because he grabbed the orange? And, it's like fermented into... It reeks of rotten eggs, so that means it's sulfurous. It's either been dosed or it's gone bad or something. And then he went, so he threw up, then went and got whiskey to wash out the taste. 15269. So there's the code that only they have. It's the PIN. Where's that go? Is that just the entirety of this chapter, I think? Or this... If I click on this, what does it do? Yeah, it gets me back out here. Alright, let's check out the truck a while later. Now this guy's vomiting. Great. I love watching people vomit. What the hell is this? Ziggy-zaggy combinations. These lumps look kind of like the thing that the idol's housed in. Don't know what that is, though. Security Sergeant M. B. Myson, not M. Bison. Oh my god, is that the reference, though? M. Bison from Street Fighter, and it's B. Myson. They just switched the first letters. Yeah, this is the thing that the crystals normally share in, and then it's got the silhouette. So it's set to give memories, which is what we expect, because they're going to do a broadcast. 1 minute lens is still there. And that's the memories that are going to be used, I guess. It's a square icon. That's different from the one that's full of that one guy's memories, right? Yep, the one thing is out. Why is he puking? And how is the puke going out of the wheel well? Is that an opening there? Is it a particle? I don't know what's happening there. A bit of snow falls and suddenly everyone starts driving like a snail. B. Greer. So that's the same guy again from the previous story bit. So we know they're transferring the thing. Not much is happening. We just know that he's puking. So they found a ribbon in the first one, and that other guy was like. Then another guy puked when he tried orange, and then here somebody's puking. And I guess the vast majority of the stuff must be in the final bit, where shit goes down at OPTV. At OPTV. Uh-oh. That's bad. So somebody has put all of the lenses in, which means that it will beam. Everyone watching is about to be replaced by a single consciousness, which is worrying. But also, where's the rest of the clicks? I'm missing 80 spots. Do I have to solve this one first to find it or something? Let's go back to Ancient Artifacts. I want to check what this one... Okay, this was the skull-looking one. That's the warrior that got copied over. So this one's a square, so it's not the same thing. The warehouse level that drove me insane never featured a hard drive anywhere visible. Or did it? I think this was... No, because they're broadcasting it, so this one didn't feature a visible hard drive either. Boardroom Brawl. I don't think this featured a hard drive. So I don't think I can easily identify which hard drive this is. The beach trip. Yeah. Here it is. Okay, so the square one was just blank. The skull one's not even here. Maybe it was bought at the auction? This features the dance. It kind of looks like a dance. And this little one is 37's memories. The square one was empty at this stage. Where's the auction? Not previous. Oh, I guess it might be previous. No. I want to click on this. Going once. Yep. Okay. This guy right here. So that entire Echo, what's his name? He was in this thing. So that's the hard drive that was sold all the way back at the auction and then never came up again until we revisited the museum and the technology caught up with the idea of being able to implant people. I think I might need to solve the OPIG page before it gives me more mysteries and more time. So I think there's more to there's more to this level, but we can't access it until I solve this, which is not how the game has ever worked before, but is an escalation to do for the finale potentially. The goal of the OPIG Corporation... The OPIG Corporation's Happy Customer project was to... increase sales? Orange sales? Increase orange sales. That makes sense. Soap sales, peel sales. No, it's peel finals is what's going to be happening. Just they obviously want people to buy their product. To achieve this, those behind the project wanted to use the idol to give the memories of drinking orange with the drug euphoria to millions of spectators watching the peel finals. The project was invented and led by Eugene Marmon, I guess? Yep. There we go. Aha. It's currently October 3rd. If I click this, the day changes or something. So I guess they successfully did the operation of broadcasting it to people, and now we're going to go to another time. At each of these times, what did the idol contain? Who was the last person to have used it? Shortly before Eugene and Jack left the laboratory, when the idol was loaded into the security van, when the idol arrived at the TV station. Well, I'm guessing that this guy fucked up, because he was in this room when he puked. So I'm guessing he made the mistake of drinking fucked up orange, and instead of having the drug euphoria in it, it was like a bad batch or something, and he puked, and that's going to be broadcast to everybody, and it's going to ruin everything. Because Tim Spender kind of has just been getting in their way all along in a variety of ways. He might have some problems. That's what I think that's what the vomit is setting up. Sharing truly positive feelings about Orange with an unlimited audience. Why is she covered in... He's covered in red. That's upsetting. But yeah, I figure, where'd this go? Oh, it just went to this scene? Okay. October 3rd. So this is a month and a half ago? 2.5 months ago, I guess, is the math, basically. And it looks like Tessa's being escorted out, so they had a falling out with Tessa. She might have spiked their stuff or something. Yeah, it's somewhat poignant, but also upsetting that they're doing a thing about how actual advertising works, which is that you take basic things that you know might even be nice on the face of things, like this is a nice tasting drink you might want to have or something. Check out our burger, but then they associate it with like sex, or they associate it with power, or they try to associate it with some kind of euphoria, as like what they're doing here. There's always some extreme thing that they want to associate these things with that isn't just the basics of like, yeah, you're gonna like eating it. You like eating things you like to eat? Check out the... No, it's they're trying to associate with insane things for some reason. Or increasingly even associate a random product with like being... It'll make you like Trump, or it'll make you not like Trump, whichever one you want to be feeling like. Those kind of things. It's just like very... Oh, it gets frustrating. But they're going to take that and they're going to do it in an even more cheating way, which is they're going to it would already be dubious to broadcast the experience of having your product onto unwilling participants, in general, because that's like a consent problem, but it's even more awful to do it by just lying, because they're just going to lie about what it's like to have this thing and then beam that experience directly into your body. So you're just going to have had that experience, and then you're going to try to replicate it via this product that doesn't even actually do that, because it's actually, and this is what makes it even worse, you being non-consensually forced to experience a drug high from an actual illicit drug, which is a different product completely from the thing that they're trying to sell you on, but you're going to experience it whether you want to or not, and that's just also fucked up for a number of reasons. What is happening in this mess? I'm guessing Tessa didn't improve. Glad to hear it. He's even titled himself head of speculative investment with me in the room. He must not succeed. Hey, what's your secret, Tim? I've never seen Nathan fast-track a budget as quickly as he did with the Happy Customer project. Also, I've heard rumors that he regularly visits that lab of yours. Is that true? Because he hasn't done on-site trips like that in years. Anna. Well, can't tell you, Anna, but it's because something completely insane is happening. Utterly nefarious. And of course this fucker's gonna jump on it. I know we've had our differences, but you're right. We must take action. Just yesterday that imbecile made me rearrange the lab's furniture using feng shui principles. How am I encountering this much feng shui from game to game that I play, ever since I played Threefold Recital, which is actually Chinese, so it makes sense in that context. Mary, your updated idol proposal is much more interesting now that you have placed the skills and obedience training within a military context. The army is our dream client, but the higher-ups will need to see a very convincing demonstration before they are willing to begin talks with us. I'm sure you will have a role to play working under Eugene. NH. Madam, don't make me use more force than necessary. You lied to me! You lied to me! You are my worst student ever. I thought you cared about spreading enlightenment, but you just want to shove an ad down everyone's throats. Beware, empathy will have its revenge. Yep. She did semi-accidentally, semi-on-purpose murder somebody, but overall she's maybe the most moral agent involved in these people and just extremely incompetent and deluded. Okay, this is a minor thing, but it does bother me. The perspective is really fucked up in the background. So there's a projector somewhere over here in the bottom right corner, off camera, going at this angle. So this guy's shadow makes sense, this guy's shadow makes... They're probably a little too distant from themselves, probably too extreme, but like, you know, a precedent is established. Your shadow goes this much to your left. This much to your left. This much to your left. You see the problem? This guy's shadow is straight in the middle of all the people's whose shadows are going to the left. And this guy's shadow is to his right. It's to his right. That's not how light works. It's not how light works. Also, he's lit up, but he's in the dark. Him being in the dark makes... So it actually doesn't make sense that he's in the dark, probably, because he's like this distance away, and that kind of matches up with like this much, where like... It's dubious that this guy would be in the dark because the light is coming from the right, going by the vast majority of the shadows going right, having the shadows be on the left of them. That means the projector is on the right over here. This guy might be in light, might not be, but it's like, it's very borderline. He probably should be dipping into it as he wobbles. This guy is to the left of the projection screen. He should not even be in the light because it's diagonally coming from this direction. He should be in shadow, and she should be in the light. They might be going for a storytelling thing of like who's in the shadows and who's in the lights in terms of like secrecy and so on. Although they are scheming over here, so maybe they should be over here in the shadows. But yeah, it's a mess. It's just a mess, and it bothers me. It's not like a real game flaw, but it just bothers me. Like look at this guy's over here. She's like almost vertical, and this guy's just like that. It's just vertical. I wonder if they rearranged the people and set up the shadows to work in a particular way, and then they rearrange the people to a different scene. But that still doesn't make sense, because these people's shadows should never be between them. Because the shadows... no projection direction will make one shadow be around the right, one shadow be on the left. If it's, it doesn't work. Anyway, that's my soapbox about shadows, as somebody who draws and thinks about them too much. Your access card, madam. You are banned from the premises. The student has surpassed the master. Nothing can stop my rise to the top. You are fired. He was never a master of empathy. You just gave him... Not even you. It wasn't even you. It was one of your dedicants. One of them had what the answers he wanted, which is that he wanted a reason for why everyone was mad at him that wasn't based on his own incompetence. I can't tell if they're wearing shirts that say... okay. I was gonna say, I can't tell if they're wearing shirts that say meta or meat, which is a very different implication. It's probably just team. T-E-A-M. Which is goofy. It's a symbol of how they're all wearing team shirts, but their team is coming apart because she's being arrested and she's scheming and he's in the shadows, and that's suspicious, and he is just an idiot that has never been on the same wavelength as anybody. This is very exciting. If the project succeeds, the implications are enormous. The consumer market is just the first step. I must have bigger goals in mind. I have much bigger goals in mind. Jack, do you think there's a distance or scale limit? Yep. Every step of the way. This guy's this guy is always overseeing or watching a huge argument break out between the people around him and his entire corporation. And he's like always watching this big fight break out, being like, "Oh, think of the possibilities. Oh, it's perfect." He's always at a completely different planet from everyone else, and is really excited. Our stress tests have not discovered any limitations so far, Mr. Hoyle. I have a high degree of confidence in the project having successful outcomes. Yeah, him being in the shadow doesn't really seem to elevate the storytelling here visually. It feels like they should all just be in the light and these two should be in the shadow, which matches the layout of the scene, and they could be scheming over here in the shadow, and that's just like a good way of visually representing it. Anyway, they were gonna drink the Kool-Aid, but she spilled the Kool-Aid and threw it in his face. Fuck your Kool-Aid. I guess that's the end of the scene. Again. Let's solve idol. Each of these times, what did the idol contain and who was the last person to have used it? When Eugene and Jack left the laboratory, it's probably Eugene Marmot, because Eugene always seems to be the person who records things himself. That keeps happening. When the idol was loaded into the security van, when the idol arrived at the TV station. Huh. It is in the air. No, it's not. I was gonna say 2 different people were puking, so it's ambiguous whose stuff was in the thing. But no, it's just Tim Spender. It's Tim Spender both times. I was thinking that it's like, oh, well, there was a guy thrown up in the van, and then Tim Spender was thrown up. Either of them could have uploaded the memory. Maybe the guy uploaded by accident on the bus, in the van. But no, Tim Spender fucked up and uploaded his bad puke into the thing. And then the guy in the van must have got zapped by it. I think he accidentally demoed what the idol was about to broadcast, and it fucked him up. But he didn't know enough to understand what was happening. So he didn't report that their plans were fucked, I guess. Or maybe didn't even understand what their plans were, even though he's, was here when this giant broadcast happened. So these two might be scheming then to sabotage this broadcast just to ruin this guy's life because they're sick of dealing with him. So they might be intentionally sabotaging all of Orange to get rid of, so gonna have which is quite a thing, because it means the first broadcast of this thing, instead of falsely getting a bunch of people to like a thing, it's going to make them all violently sick across the world, which will be a very upsetting experience. And we'll probably get people to investigate how it happened, like the fucking Porygon Pokemon flashing that caused seizures in kids, and it's probably going to get them found out and banned. So they're really sabotaging the entire thing that they've been doing all game, just because they're sick of this guy, seemingly. He even titled himself head of speculative investment with me in the room. He must not succeed. They just hate this guy. I'm gonna review her note because I don't remember what it said. No, Nathan Hoyle just finding us. Yeah. I'm sure you'll have a role to play working under Eugene. So she has the more clever but more upsetting plan of being like of using the idol to do obedience training in the military, which I hate. Boy, do I hate the idea of a brainwashed military that just follows orders, like on a more intricate and like ultimately more fascist level. Like, that's a very upsetting premise. So she, while more competent, is the kind of scientist that just wants to rush things forward at this point for the purposes of just like furthering her career and proving herself valuable to people in power that will reward her with a better life, essentially, and not really questioning the morals of her plans, because that is actively worse than this, which is also bad. And at this point, I just want to go back to when Tessa controlled these things, because she didn't even... It wasn't even turned on. When she was doing it, literally wasn't even turned on. She's just a fraud, and that's basically the best case scenario for the Golden Idol, is just to have somebody failing to use it all day. Alright. What did the idol contain, and who was the last person to have used it? Something Orange. Good memories of Orange, I guess? Triangle, dot disk, anything, blah blah blah, Captain Security, okay. Then it's bad memories of Orange. bad memories of O-Range. Fuck. Well, that's really incorrect. Okay. It's not Echo Secunda. They're just, that's a red herring. It's the wrong plate. Tim Spender, Mary Westlake, Tessa Navari. Tessa's not there. It could be Tessa Navari, though. It could be that everything else is correct. It might be that everything else is correct, but I'm just wrong about who sabotaged it. I thought it was Tim Spender because he was throwing up. It could be Mary Westlake doing it on purpose, or it could be Tessa Navari breaking in to do it. It might be Mary Westlake just to sabotage this man that she hates. She might have intentionally, because she has the know-how to do it and the access, and Tessa's always been incompetent. But Mary could very specifically create this experience on purpose. It probably wouldn't be that hard. And then she might have planted this as a red herring. Because she's the one that keeps saying somebody's sneaking around, which could be her cover is telling people on the idea that it happened. Especially since at this point, Jack and Marmot, Nowak and Marmot both have to leave, so Mary is the one who has access at this stage of the process. The interior and control panels are locked. Yeah, so she's the one that in the chain of custody here who has access to it. So she's the one who can most easily override it. Spender doesn't know how to do anything. I would like to find evidence of the hard drive. Keys to the lab are only with Mary, Tim, and the shift guard, but the idol is only accessed by Eugene, Mary, and Jack. Eugene's not going to sabotage himself. So it's down to Mary or Jack who would be sabotaging this thing. And Jack can't access the lab. So Mary's the one who can access the lab and get into the idol's stuff even after it was locked, because they specifically locked it after doing their recording. So Mary can get in after the thing is locked, and then she could sabotage everything. I think that's the mistake I made. Mary Westlake. Mary Westlake. Okay. It did not improve things at all. Good memories of O-Range, good memories, bad memories of range, bad memories. So I'm wondering if... I wonder if the memory is just going to refer to something else. Yeah, there's the key. 15269. Okay, that's not good. The pin code's only available to me, Mary, and Jack. Okay, so he has the code, which he's not supposed to have. Which makes it definitely him, right? At the very least, Tim Spender did something. Tim Spender conspired with Mary Westlake, as we saw in the past now. I think those are his memories. So, Eugene Marmot might be wrong, but overall, this is probably the most right thing. I'm probably just wrong about what they're going for with this part. It probably contained good memories of O-Range in the first part. Then when it got replaced... It changed. And did it change again? Yeah, he has access to shit he's not supposed to have. I don't think B. Myson is supposed to have the ability to access this stuff. I don't see evidence that B. Myson works for for Tessa or something, but maybe. Given this, I think that they loaded the thing, the idol, with the blue means empty, right? Blue means empty, but when they're loading it up, let's see the next thing. Did it become red? Yeah, that's what happened. When you zap somebody, you lose it. So he absorbed the sabotage memories, Mr. B. Myson. B. Myson absorbed the sabotage memories, so they're no longer in the device. Then he loaded it with the square disk in full mode, and so everyone's going to be replaced by this other person, basically, which is even worse than everything else people are trying to do. Pretty bad. So let's fix this. Good memories of a range, bad memories of a range. I think that's all correct, actually. But now it's going to have the square disk. No? Last user. Security. Square disk. All memories. All memories of the square disk. He's security. What's his rank? Security sergeant. There we go. Oh, I'm so smart. Boy, was I wrong the first time. Let's forget about. Oh, fun werewolf. That's not a werewolf, as it is. Oh, it's Hunter Wolf, who we refuse to see the face of ever. Why'd you bring him here? Or is this how you've been doing it? Have you been sneaking people in this whole time? Okay, so Hunter Wolf is Jack, right? Jack Nowak. He's the sort of mysterious character. He's the really competent person that's quiet. So he's the most likely candidate to be a Hunter Wolf, I feel like. He's got plans. We're gonna finally find out who Hunter Wolf is. Good. You'll have a very important role to play in our next step. And this is the sergeant. Bruce Myson, Pinnacle Security. Don't worry about me, I can endure anything. I'll cut the rest of the tape myself. So he's gonna absorb the shitty thing. Ah, but he's Luke, right? So now he's Luke, because they've abandoned this body of ES, who's no longer ES. November 2nd. Since William's departure, Hunter's been acting strangely. Long silences, seems confused or angry, it's worrying. Nonetheless, I will do everything to help my savior. My faith in Hunter's vision is unwavering, whatever that vision may be. November 7th. The savior is back and looks filled with determination and grace. I am ready to do whatever is asked of me. I am a soldier of fate. So this is why obedience in soldiers is terrifying as a concept, like going too far with it. It's also the goal of the military, is to stamp as much obedience into you as possible, but being able to supernaturally do it is scary. Thankfully, Mary's plans are not coming to fruition either. Okay. I can do anything, I'll cut the rest of the tape myself. So Hunter Wolf and Luke Brown? I don't remember his name very clearly. The soldier guy that we had to chase that old last chapter and finally figured out. So he is in Sinclair's body all this time. They capture Bruce Myson, then replace Bruce Myson with Luke. So that's why he's currently taped up and they've already done the transfer. Now he just needs to. When he says he'll cut them myself, he's like he's ready to cut himself out of his own restraints now that one of his arms is free, because they don't need to hold him here because he's now Luke. So he went from an enemy to an ally. So they functionally killed Bruce Myson, and then poor Luke then needs to go on the thing, zap himself with the puking memory, which he really tanked the hit there for all of society because no one else has to experience that. But doesn't get much good credit because he's now going to replace everybody with this other person's consciousness. They're just going to clone one mind across everybody. Just the entirety of someone. And the question is who? They did the full setting, and they knew that they were doing that. Jack should still be around with Marmot, so Jack shouldn't be, I keep saying Marmot. Jack should be with Eugene, so I assume that Jack has not become a dead person inside of a hard drive. So I wonder whose consciousness they're putting in there. This man is not breathing, yep. Empathy Warriors, a new terrorist group in town. Masked terrorists attacked a scientific laboratory with Molotov cocktails on Tuesday, November 2nd. The gang also spray-painted slogans on the building, which is owned by Olympus Pinnacle International Group, OPIG. An OPIG spokesperson said the extremists fled when employees threatened to call the police. However, the company declined to comment on why it may have been targeted. They're being labeled as terrorists, which might technically be correct or something, but they are correctly trying to attack the people who are going to do something horrible. They're using horrible technology to control people's minds, which she was kind of on board with when she thought they were just going to increase empathy in people and helps us and heal the world. But now they know they're just going to be using it for like brainwash consumerism, or significantly worse, the military-industrial complex. Yay! These are all bad people. After Tessa Navari's attack, I guess, because that's that organization, the security protocol was changed, consequently blah blah, assisted by blah blah blah. Oh god. And blah blah used, okay, that one's easy. Jack Nowak used the idol to take all memories from Luke Brown and to give all memories to M. Bison, Bruce Myson. There he is. And that's bad. Ambushed Bruce Myson. Okay, so Jack Nowak assisted by Luke Brown. Yep. Hunter Wolf is an option, but I put Jack Nowak in, and the game identifies that correctly as being him. So, and it had to be a security person, not only because that is how you're going to do the next step of things, but also Jack doesn't have access to the key here either, so he needs to ambush the shift security person to get access to this room, because he has the pin, but he doesn't have the security key. So he gained access by doing this, and now we get to find out what happened at 3:27.